My name is David Flores. I work with Blue Water Baltimore and Baltimore Harbor Waterkeeper.
What do the waters look like to you today?
Pretty normal. I mean, the clarity looks typical for an overcast day and one where we've seen some rain. Trash isn't too bad today, at least at the surface. Debris. But otherwise, it's pretty nice. It beats freezing rain that we'll have next month. And so it doesn't smell too bad. And we don't have to worry about navigating around large debris like we have sometimes after this really huge storms. We'll have trees and large screen TVs will come. All sorts of really huge debris will come down. The Jones Falls and out So we take water quality samples. So then I'll have these bottles and I fill out a data sheet, which I can show you as well, and put a label on them. And the bottles are opened. We go up to our sampling sites and just grab the sample, screw it on, and toss it into the cooler, and it goes to a lab to analyze for bacteria.
Right here, isn't it? Oh, little asphalt operation right there.
So each week we go out on our waterkeeper boat and sample 17 sampling sites in the Inner Harbor for Enterococcus bacteria and 13 in the Middle Branch. We sample for Enterococcus bacteria as an indicator of human sewage contamination. So the purpose of the bacterial monitoring program is basically to assess the impact of human sewage discharge on the Inner Harbor and Middle Branch water bodies. Each of the sampling sites was selected various different criteria, but mostly we looked for accessibility by the boat. We also looked to locate sampling sites adjacent to stormwater outfalls and submerged stormwater outfalls where we suspect that there could be bacterial contamination from the sanitary sewer infrastructure. We also located sampling sites adjacent to industrial discharges or supposed industrial discharges. Commercial discharges. So lots of sampling sites are also located next to or within marinas in order to assess potentially illicit pumping out or discharge of sewage from boats. And then finally we located sampling sites at known formal and informal recreational areas. So areas where people are fishing and coming in contact with the water, areas where people are swimming during the summertime and coming in contact with the water. This project began in 2009 as a partnership between Baltimore Harbor Waterkeeper, the Baltimore City Department of Public Works, and the Maryland Department of the Environment in order to collect bacterial data for the Inner Harbor and Middle Branch water bodies.
Tell you what, next time you go in the Middle River, I bet it's going to be full of junk.
Oh man, that's been pretty crazy the past few weeks. There's a lot more like submerged and embedded trees out around the branch.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole bay is full of junk coming down from the Susquehanna elsewhere.
Does the Coast Guard come out and remove that stuff? Or?
I mean, as best I can, you see once in a while you'll see a large Army Corps of Engineers boat,
Right.
the Reynolds, that has a big basket in the front.
Right.
And they'll come around and pick up large trees, things like that. But I mean, there's no way you can get it all.
That was the Jones Falls holding on. It's greatly impacted by stormwater pollution. So during every rainstorm, every weather event, you see a tremendous amount of runoff from the lower portion of the watershed that's highly urbanized. There's lots of pervious surfaces, so parking lots, rooftops, streets, sidewalks, lawns that you would otherwise think could infiltrate a decent amount of water, but don't have the same infiltration coefficient or capacity as a canopy, a tree canopy would, or the forest. So there's a tremendous amount of runoff that ends up in the Jones Falls, into its tributaries, picks up all sorts of stormwater pollutants like petroleum residue off the street, fertilizer and pesticides that people use around their homes, and deposits that all into the streams and ultimately into the Jones Falls River completely untreated. So those pollutants end up getting flushed into the river, not really knowing too much about the dynamics of the pollutant transport in this particular river. What we do know, what we have seen, and what is really our hypothesis, is that during those storm events, a lot of those pollutants will just get flushed right out, either to the Inner Harbor or to the Middle Branch. We see pretty good aquatic communities, biological communities in the Jones Falls in different areas. Mostly aquatic animals that aren't sensitive to pollution.
How do you like it?
I love it. It's good. My position, I'm actually not usually involved with the monitoring program. I'm the volunteer coordinator. So I help out when the captain can't be here. That way Dave can drive the boat and I can do this. But normally I'm just leading greening projects, stream cleanups, things like that.
So how's the water look today?
Well, it's hard to tell with it being so overcast. Otherwise, it's high. The level's high.
Definitely some trash in it.
And garbage, as usual. Well, we take about 30 samples total, and we'll do one selection in the Inner Harbor 1 week, and then we'll do another selection in the round of samples in the Middle Branch the following week. So everything gets sampled bi-weekly. I think here in the Inner Harbor we have maybe, how many samples we have on here?
About 20, I think.
17 samples in the Inner Harbor. So they do 13 in the Middle Branch.
And this should be a pretty short trip. We're just gonna do, we do one baseline just at one of the sampling sites, the regular sampling sites, and then we're gonna do three different locations for sampling. One right near the solar